Hello and welcome to Learn PCM. You're watching a session of lines and angles. We are going through a series of sessions for the chapter lines and angles, and here we are there with another activity, or you can see that we are having one craft or one sheet of paper with which we are going to understand about adjacent angles. In the previous session, I have just given you the just description about the opposite pairs, right? Opposite angles, opposite pair of angles. Okay, where you can see that these two yellow angles, they are forming one opposite pair, and these two red angles, they are forming opposite angles, and we have discussed already that they are having none of the common arms. Let's talk about adjacent angles. This is a pair of opposite angles. I have not written any of the name. Let me write here. These are opposite angles. Okay, now here we are going to discuss about adjacent angles. We'll talk about adjacent angles. Okay, so for adjacent angles, let us give the name to the points first. Let me name out the points. Say this is your A, this is B, this is a C, and say this is D. Okay, now in ABCD, these vertices are given the name as ABCD, and if you see, if these angles, if you consider these angles means what? If just let me to show the angles. In this case, I have just taken the, say you are having these four angles in this, so let me have some color. Okay, this is your one color. Again, this is another color. So same color, what it shows, these two same colors, they are sharing one arm in them. Okay, and then we are having this another set I'll be taking. I'll be showing you with two different pairs, but we will try to find all the pairs of adjacent angles in this quadrilateral. Okay, so keep patience, keep watching, and remember that if you invest your time in understanding, in education, in literacy, definitely it is going to give you success in your life. Okay, the investment, it is investment. Okay, it is investment, a type of investment which you pay to your studies. Okay, the time which you are spending in studies is definitely going to bring success to you. Okay, so keep patience. हमेशा पेशेंस अपने पास रखना चाहिए, तभी हम स्टडीज़ में आगे फोकस कर सकते हैं. ओके, लेट अस नाउ गो अहेड. You can see we are having two pairs of same you can see same colors are there. Okay, let us give the name to these angles. Okay, these two pairs, let us write down the names of these angles. Okay, आपको पता है पिछली बार हमने ऑलरेडी बात किया हुआ है कि देयर आर एडजेसेंट साइड्स. ओके, आज हम बात करेंगे एडजेसेंट एंगल्स की. अगर एडजेसेंट साइड्स की बात करनी है तो हमें क्या करना होता है कि ये साइड एंड ये साइड, दीज टू साइड्स आर एडजेसेंट साइड्स. वाई? दे आर नेबर टू ईच अदर एंड दे आर शेयरिंग वन कॉमन पॉइंट ओवर हियर. ओके, दैट मीन्स ए डी इज एडजेसेंट टू डी सी. एडजेसेंट साइड्स का एक एग्जाम्पल मैं लिख देती हूँ सो दैट कि आपको रिकॉल हो जाए. Adjacent side, one pair I'm writing, say AD is adjacent to DC. और adjacent pair में हमने क्या देखा था कि point is common. ओके, adjacent sides में point common होता है. ओके, now let's talk about adjacent angles. Okay, now we'll talk about adjacent angles. And already we have seen that in quadrilateral we have four pairs of adjacent angles. Okay, only two pairs are there for opposite angles, but we are having four pairs for adjacent sides and adjacent angles. Okay, so here let us start with adjacent angles. Say here, first of all, we are going to give the name to this angle, full name of this angle. So this is angle D. Let us write in complete name. ADC. So this is angle ADC. then adjacent, I'm saying that adjacent to this angle is what? Angle DCB. Okay, DCB. ठीक है, you can see here, this is at angle ADC, this one, and this is angle DCB. Okay, DCB. These two are adjacent angles. What I am saying, that these two are adjacent angles, and similarly these two are adjacent angles. Now, how can we verify that these two are adjacent angles? How can we define them? How can we find out that these two are only the adjacent angles? Why can't we say that these are adjacent angles? We can say that these are adjacent angles because there are the differences in between these two. Okay, let us find. In these two angles, first of all, let us define the arms. So this angle has two of the arms. किसी भी angle के दो arms होते हैं. आपको अच्छे से पता है कि if there are two, if angle is formed, then it consists of two of the arms. Okay, I'll be showing you. Say for example this one. You can see here. Okay, we have already seen this angle. Okay, you can see this is one arm and this is one arm. So two of the arms are always there in an angle. And if we talk about this acute angle, suppose I am considering this angle, then in such case, again this angle also has two arms. One arm is this one. Suppose if it is this point is, say, if I take this point and this point, if I'm just going to give the name of these points, then say this is A, O, and this is B. Now you can see we are having one arm, this one OB, and the other arm is OA, and midpoint is O, which is not midpoint, the common point is O, and this common point is shared in this arm as well as in this arm. Okay, so in this case also we are having two arms for both of the angles. In this angle, let us find the arms. Okay, we'll discuss. So here you are having AD. This is one arm. This line, this AD is one arm. ठीक है, ये इसका एक आर्म है और दूसरा इस एंगल का दूसरा आर्म क्या है? DC. ठीक है. Now let us talk about this angle. What about this? In this case, again you see this angle is having DC as one arm. Okay, and CB as another arm. Okay, now there are four, we are having two angles, but we are having four arms in them, right? Now out of these four arms, let us try to find out, is there any arm which is common in both? You can see that this is AD, this is DC, again DC, and CB. So in these two angles, you can see that this was the first arm, this was the second arm, this was the first arm, this was the second arm. Now this arm, this DC is common to this DC. This is common in them. You can see this DC is common in these two angles. And that is why when you share a common arm, you see this, you see here, this is the arm which is shared in between these two angles. And when arm is shared in between two angles, we call it adjacent angle, a pair of adjacent angle. Okay, so we are having here a pair of adjacent angle as angle ADC and as angle DCB. That is why these two yellow colored angles are adjacent angles to each other. Okay, they are adjacent pair of angles. तो अब इसके साथ ये भी एक एडजेसेंट एंगल हो सकता है. क्यों? क्योंकि इनके बीच में ये आर्म शेयर हो रहा है. ठीक है, अगर इस एंगल की हम बात करें, लेट मी कलर इट आउट. अगर मैं इस एंगल को और ये वाले एंगल को कंसिडर कर लूँ, यानी कि इफ़ दिस इज से एंगल 1, अगर मैं अलग नाम दूँ और इसको 2 कर दूँ, तो इन दैट केस एंगल 1 इज़ एडजेसेंट टू एंगल 2. क्यों ऐसा होगा? बिकॉज दिस एंगल 1 और दिस एंगल C इज़ मेड बाय DC एंड BC. Okay, and again if we talk about this angle 2, then it is made by BC and AB. तो इनके बीच में जो आर्म कॉमन हो रहा है, उसकी वजह से हम कह सकते हैं कि this pair of this pair of angle is adjacent pair. Okay, adjacent angle. Okay, pair of adjacent angle. Okay, so we are having how many pairs in quadrilateral? We are having 4 pairs of adjacent angles in a quadrilateral. So let us write down their names. Okay, let me write it up for you here. I'm just writing here only so that it will be more clear to you. So if we take an angle, this one we have already written. Let us write down this one. or let me write all. Okay, so angle ADC is paired up with angle DC and angle DCB. Then second one is then second angle is what? Angle DCB is paired. Angle DCB, it is paired with angle CBD. Angle CBD. Then third one is what? Which pair? Angle CBD. Angle CBD is paired with angle BAD. Okay. Then we are having fourth angle as angle angle BAD paired with angle ADC. Okay, now in each of the case you have one common arm, and that is why you will say that there are four pairs of adjacent angles. Okay, these are adjacent angles. Understood? So what are the pairs, and how will you say that these are having the common arms? Let us see. This DC is present here, DC is present here. Then in this case, CB is present here, CB is present here. When two points are common, it means they are forming a common side. Okay, say here, this is CD here, and sorry, BD, this BD is here, and here if we just take this to this side, it will create one arm BD. Okay, so again here you are having BD, okay, as a pair. Then here you are having AD as common pair. It shows that since you are having the common arms in them, that is why these pairs of angles are known as adjacent angles. I hope you have understood adjacent angles now. If you have any doubt, any problem, still if you don't understand, you can write in comment box and you can ask. Thank you so much.